Welcome back to another episode of We Are Liars podcast. Hope you had a great week. We are back very close to the end of the season. I say that it's 5 weeks away, but it's really exciting. We're on episode 19 of season 3, titled What Becomes of the Brokenhearted. Aired February 12th, 2013, written by Oliver Goldstick and Francesca Rollins and directed by Ron Lagomarsino. Still crushed over her breakup, Spencer continues her downward spiral as she now takes her anger and hurt on Mona. Hanna devises a plan to bring her father and son back together, and Aria, who is still missing Ezra, finds she is spending more time with Wes. Meanwhile, Emily and Jason work together to put the pieces of Allison's trip to Cape May and what really happened during that vacation.
Finds herself spending time with Wes.
I wish we found ourselves not spending time with Wes.
I agree.
Yeah.
What a waste of our time.
Do you want to know something funny? I'm pretty sure he's on the island after this.
Get out of here.
I'm 99.9% positive.
So
I will have to look it up and confirm, but I'm pretty sure he's on the island.
This was a kiss and goodbye?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Why do we waste time on all of it?
Well, okay. Clearly, I'm hoping this at least creates an internal conflict with Aria.
You would hope. I can say we mention him next week. We don't see him.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But
just like Meredith. Goodbye.
She left.
Wow.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Apparently. Okay, but let's start with Spencer. Because that was the most. She was doing the most.
And the most,
interesting. Well,
her and Emily.
Yeah.
Most interesting.
Okay, so as we know, last week I said my secret is that Spencer has thrown off the decathlon team. And she goes up to Andrew. He's like, it's like beyond my jurisdiction. I can't really help you. And she's like, yes, you can. She goes up to Mona and she's like, what more you want to take from me? I'm so done with this. But the team basically voted her out. She missed too many practices. They don't think she's prepared. They don't think she's a liability. And, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
It sucks for her.
But Andrew was the swing vote?
He didn't confirm it, but he didn't say no.
He didn't deny it.
He didn't. Yeah.
Wow.
Last week you were like, something like, we're going to see Andrew. I'm like, we're going to see a lot of Andrew. And we did.
We sure did.
Yeah. So Spencer, she goes home. Actually, on her way home, she's about to put her sunglasses on, and etched into her sunglasses is a note from A, basically stating, if you tell about T, one of your 3 gets hurt. So obviously, it's going to be a while. How did they
do this?
Of course,
I know it's part of the show, and I have to let it go. And A knows all, and A is everywhere and controls everything, but what?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so she goes home. She's making some sort of like vegetable medley smoothie, and Andrew comes by. I'm not really sure why. He just was there to, I guess, say to her, look, it's not personal. We just need the team to be winning, and I'm going to basically take like your spot. She's like, there's no way you could beat me. And he's like, yeah, we'll be good. And she's like, no, we're going to face off, basically. And she's like, let's make it interesting. Whoever gets the question wrong has to remove an article of clothing. And he's like, yeah, okay.
And also the wager was, if I win, you have to let me back on the team.
Which he knows very well. He can't do that, but plays anyway.
Right. I'm like, you have no power over that.
There's no power. He has no power. She has no power over it. She's just doing this to make herself feel better that she could potentially.
And also he has to study, right? So this is
right. So she's like, it's a win-win for everyone.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, they're basically, he's into his underwear and that's about it. We have to make this dramatic scene of him taking his shirt off. You have a nice body, dude. Nobody's saying that you don't. Very nice.
Very nicely cut.
Very, very nicely cut. We didn't need this, but hey, great. You're in your underwear. She then loses a question. She takes her bra off. So now she's just in a shirt and her pants, but braless.
Yeah.
And he's like, googly eyes, you know?
You think so?
I think he was like, all right.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Okay. Because, like, eventually that shirt will have to come off.
Exactly. He's like,
Right.
okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
get what she's doing. But then ultimately, Emily comes by to stop by to give Spencer a cupcake.
Check in on her.
Yeah, she's like, I wanted to see how you were, but I can see how you are. And she's like, oh my God, Emily Fields, I gotta go. This is so embarrassing. And Spencer's like, please, she does not care about you.
Yeah.
She's not into you.
Yeah.
And so Emily and her have like a little fight because Emily's like, what are you doing? This is just to get back at Toby. And Spencer's like, this is nothing to do with Toby. Don't talk to him. If you don't like it, he's not our friend. It's not good.
In Emily's defense, she's like, Toby's my friend too. And not for nothing, Spencer, you're not the only person who ever lost someone you love.
Exactly.
And Spencer's not giving her anything.
So frustrating.
No information. She's the only one. Like, Hanna and Aria and Emily are all talking about Spencer and how they have to help their friend. But really, it's only Emily who's there to check up on her.
Basically, yeah. Hanna and Aria really haven't.
Well, they're distracted.
Yeah. Right. They're both distracted with some men in their life.
Yeah.
Listeners want to know your thoughts on this pairing of Andrew and Spencer. Kate says, what would have happened if Emily did not show?
Well, I think Spencer would have won.
Yeah, and then Andrew would have been
naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah.
And she might have used that to her advantage a little bit.
Right, because Emily questions her, like, you've never had to use your sexuality
sex as a weapon. Basically.
As a weapon, right. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, Spencer's like, because that's the new me. Like, get used to it.
Right, and this is the role I have to do to get this spot back on the team.
Yeah.
So I'm curious of how far Spencer would have went. However, I do like this pairing. I'm okay with it. Let's have some fun. We were hoping for an anger banger.
Anger bang, yeah.
It still could happen.
It still could happen. It's still
and I'm very glad it didn't happen with Ren.
Oh.
Yet.
Yes, right, though. Anyway, so they have a falling out a little bit, Emily and Spencer. And then we see Melissa's also home because both parents are in London. She's like, do you want lemon on your broccoli? I'm like, what a random thing to say.
That is a random line.
What a random line. Were they trying to make that like, this is something someone would say? I don't think it is. I mean, not that I love lemon.
Me too.
More than the next person. But like, I don't think.
Would it made more sense? It was like, hey, do you want lemon on your chicken? Do you want lemon on your salmon?
Do you want Parmesan on your pasta? Do you want some parm on your pasta? Like, I don't know. Just
lemon on your broccoli.
It is just not. It's just not what.
That is so weird.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, what a weird combination.
Weird. It's a weird choice.
And again, in my life, that's not. I would do that, but I would not. That's just not something I would say to someone.
One sentence in a show.
That's what they picked
regarding food.
That's what they picked.
I
don't get it.
It's weird.
Don't get it.
That's weird.
Anyway, so their parents are in London, and then there's a knock at the door, and to our surprise and our disdain, it's Ren Kingston.
I was surprised.
Ugh, I was so annoyed. And Melissa's like, hey, I'm going to go out back and eat because I really don't want to be a part of this.
Ren's like, we should catch up sometime.
She's like, sure,
I was just about to try to do a British accent, and it stopped me. My mouth was like, no accents. we should catch up sometime. I was off again. Anyway, yeah, and Melissa's like, no, I'm good, thank you.
No, I'm just going to go eat out back. And so he then tells Spencer he's making a house call, but also it's not a house call, it's a friendship call. He's worried about her because someone alluded to the fact that she was not okay. And she figures out this was Mona. This is why? I mean, we needed to get anger on Mona. I get that.
Yeah.
This is it?
Yeah, this is
weird.
Very weird.
Very weird. And I don't know what Spencer's like upper hand kind of thing was. She's like, I'm here with Ren. We got a room. But I'm like, what is this about?
Okay. So you have nothing to fill me in on because I was also very confused.
I'm pretty sure they did not get a room. She was just like saying, I think she was kind of saying to Mona, your plan didn't work. Me and Ren are actually like doing a little something. And thanks for like bringing him to my attention kind of thing. But also you were like a backstabbing bitch.
Or
and
like
I don't
you
wanna
think
deal
you
with
can
it.
use Ren against me, but actually
he's in my pocket.
right. I'm going to use him to my advantage against you.
Right. And also like, I'm going to blackmail you. I'm going to take your folder and announce it to the whole internet.
So am I dumb lollipop?
No.
Because when Spencer throws the case study in her face, there's no case study.
No, but I guess she's like, I can chummy up with Ren too, and I can get stuff on
Get
you.
your folder, your file rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she ends up convincing Ren, let's go out of town. I don't even know how far away this place was. Just to get dinner and a movie for like a mental health day. And he's like smirking. I'm like, wipe that dumb smirk off your face.
He's like, I don't think a date was a good idea. She's like, it's not a date.
It's not a date. But he's like, it
It
is.
is a date.
It is
It's
a date.
totally a date, and
Yay.
I'll do this.
It's terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
So she lures him to what, I don't even know what kind of bar restaurant this was, but apparently the decathlon is being held in the back of this bar. This is outrageous.
Is this a bar? This is like a restaurant.
I guess.
This feels like a rest stop
Yes.
restaurant.
We couldn't, it's a decathlon. Why
This
couldn't
is
we have gotten any
so
other,
Random.
some sort of like, I don't know, like hall?
Wouldn't it be held in another high school?
Convention center? Another high school? Thank you. Another high school would make sense.
A hotel office? Like
Any other, yes, a
conference room?
Yes, a conference room. But we pick the back of a bar restaurant.
I guess it makes sense because we had to use Ren to drive her there. And so she lies to Ren saying, oh, hey, can we go to this restaurant and then go to the film festival that's in,
Right.
where are they?
Something
Blumfeld?
Somethingville.
Okay. And so
Louisville?
I thought it was
Lanesville?
Blue. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
So
matter.
it gets them to this restaurant.
Right. So she goes, she tells him to get a table. She makes her way to the back of the restaurant. And they see her like, what are you doing here, Spencer? You shouldn't be here. And this is when she goes up to Mona and she's trying to one-up her and say like, hey, I got the jump on you. I know Ren and I can do these things. And you better not mess with my friends. And Mona, like, of course, throws Toby in her face. Like, oh, is this why Toby left you? You're cray-cray. And then she says to Spencer, do you even have any friends? I don't see them here. And Spencer literally yells, die. Die! And lunges across the table, starts choking this girl out on the floor. They're like, she's beating on her, and they have to pull, Spencer off of Mona, and it's a wreck. It's a wreck.
It's like Mona saying, do you even have any friends was the trigger.
That was the trigger?
That was the catalyst.
Right? It wasn't anything about Toby. It was about your friends. Do you even have any friends? I don't see any friends.
Why would the friends be there?
Right. Your friends are
I
not
guess
here.
if the friends would support her if she was doing something to take down Mona.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
Mm.
Die. Die.
Kat says, how did you like this mean girl-esque scene of Spencer lunging over the table at Mona?
Hey, listen, it was entertaining.
Sure was. She snapped.
She snapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate says, is this Spencer's rock bottom or will there be more?
No, I think there will be more, but I think this is one of her close to bottoms.
Yeah. Jordy asks, will Spencer tell the girls about Toby or will they find out on their own somehow?
It's a great question, Jordy. I've been wondering this myself.
Shout out to Jordy, a new commenter on
Hey, Jordy.
YouTube. Thank you.
A new subscriber,
Yeah.
hopefully. Yeah, part of me feels like I want them to find out elsewhere and then approach
Mhm.
Emily about it and be like,
Spencer.
Spencer
Yeah.
about it. In my head, I keep thinking Emily will be the one to find out
Oh, yeah.
and approach Spencer about it and ask her about it. Like, did you know? Is this why you've been acting weird?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of want it to go.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But now I kind of feel like the girls are on the mend. Spencer's on the up and up. And I feel like maybe Spencer will tell them next week.
Yeah. Okay. Next week then.
Yeah.
All right. So over to Hanna, who has been thinking about Uncle Jamie like nonstop.
Okay. Hanna looks like Teresa Caputo. We have to
We're
start with that.
Killing me. And the tweed jacket, like she looked like, I don't even know what. It was not good.
The hair
honey.
got a little better, but
It
the
did. It get a little better.
first scene with Hanna,
I know it did look like a Teresa
straight up Teresa Caputo. I can't.
I know.
I'm not. Am I wrong?
No.
Did you get the vibe?
Yes. I mean, did I say that she like fried her hair during a movie,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So her hair is like in its most fragile state right now, trying to grow itself back and heal.
Grow itself back
and heal. It needs a healing. It will get better.
How
soon.
dare I talk about hair? I just need to address it. The friends who watch us on YouTube, listen, I talk about our hair in this light, and this is a work in progress.
Yeah, the studio is a work in progress.
My hair looks like it needs a conditioning treatment, and I'm aware of this. I am totally aware. This is not what I look like in real life.
No, it's not. The video, for some reason, when we export, like we see it on the camera right now, we're like, yay. Cute. And then we export, we're like, what the hell happened?
Our hair
so
looks,
we apologize.
like it looks like piss on my.
It looks
the color piss.
It's like, I know, it's like a brassy yellow. Like our hair is not that color. We swear.
No, I actually look pretty brunette in
you
real
do,
life.
actually.
IRL.
IRL.
Natural light.
Yeah.
She brunette. Here, fried. So I am aware.
Right. We shouldn't comment on hair, but it's not looking good for her either. I think
No.
she could admit it too.
I think so
I think
too.
if we ask Hanna, she'd be like, I know. I'm working through it.
Yeah.
It will get there.
Yeah.
So as we said, she cannot stop thinking about what's going to happen with Caleb and Jamie. She can't let it go. So she ends up going to visit Jamie herself. Or even Aria, who like the queen of doing this shit, was like, don't do it. Please learn from my mistakes. Don't meddle.
Yeah, don't get involved.
So Hanna goes. She drives 2 hours to the barn where Jamie is. And he's like, look, I know you came here to talk to me. Is Caleb ready? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I have been in jail before for, petty theft. So like, I can understand why he wouldn't want to know me. So Hanna convinces Jamie to come to Rosewood to meet at the brew. And she tells Caleb, and Caleb's beyond pissed. He's like, I didn't ask you to do this. Rightfully so.
Like,
you
I'm
meddled.
not ready for this.
Right. I just re-met him after like 10 years a week ago.
Yeah, let me process this.
Let me breathe. Let me think about how I want to approach this. And now I'm being forced into this situation. So Hannah's like, fine, I'll go meet him myself. You're going to regret it. And he's like, you do that. But then of course, it's Caleb. He ultimately shows up and is like, I could do this because you're with me.
So,
And again, with the hair, terrible. He had a little, what do we call him? Oh, Lord Farquaad.
you look like a pilgrim.
Yeah, and a pilgrim.
Pilgrim hat
Yes.
situation.
And then it got better.
The happies of this situation is that I'm hoping the tension between the two of them over this Jamie dad situation is summed up.
Yeah.
The crappies could be like, this could have went on and tension could have been between these two characters of being like, I didn't want you to meddle. And then
Mhm.
she could have met up with Jamie more and try to get them to hang out more. It seems like that's finished. And now we have other suspicions about Jamie.
Yeah. Basically, we bring him into Rosewood and now it's like, do we regret this decision?
Right.
So they meet up. They go to the brew. It looks like Jamie's not coming. And then finally, of course, the last minute he walks in. He's like, yeah, it took me longer than expected. So basically, like, I didn't know if I was going to show, but I did.
Also, that to me was like a metaphor of like, for life.
Oh, for life. Right. It took me longer to get here
Yeah.
than I wanted to.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then Caleb and him, they talk. We don't see any of the catching up. We don't, because I think the writers are like, we're just going to throw this in. We don't care about the details. We're not going to tell you where he's been, what he's been doing, how long with the parents, whatever. None of it. But they have a catch up. Things go well. Hanna then immediately is like, Mom, do you think Pastor Ted will hire him to stay in Rosewood and work on the bell tower? Is this too much too soon? Caleb's like, no. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Caleb just doesn't have the heart to tell you it's too soon.
And like you said when we were watching, Hanna has daddy issues.
Definitely has daddy issues.
She's dealt with abandonment. She definitely loves Caleb. And, this whole time, Caleb has been either pushed out of Hannah's life, not really knowing the full story.
Mm-hmm.
And now Hanna is kind of putting Caleb first.
Right, which is great to see.
It is great to see.
And he makes a comparison. She says, this is no different than you trying to figure out the A stuff behind my back. And you were like, it's totally different.
No, it is totally different because Caleb was very much affected by that.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Personally attacked
Right,
and affected.
and this was kind of like Hannah's hurting. And I want to fix it, where this is like Caleb has hurt his whole life because of it. And now I want to be the one to fix it.
Right. And almost like, I know if you were to deal with this, you might feel better.
Right. You can feel better.
It's different though.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah. But they of course, Jamie gets the job to work on the church. And Hanna is so happy. She's lighting the little church candles. She's donating $5 to the church. This $5 bill has a pair of dice on it. And then we see later on at the house, after Ashley's got the pizza and beer, the delivery guy is going to be paid. And Jamie's like, oh, I'll get it. And out comes this $5 bill that Hanna then put in the church pew. I mean, like, it's like a donation box, but it's like in the pew, right? It's like at the end or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, so did he just take that out of the box?
That's
like, what do you think?
Yeah. So like we're making him a little suspicious.
Right. Like, do you think he's suspicious? Do you think it's coincidental? Mike says, will Hanna confront Jamie about this?
Yes. And I think Jamie will lie
Mm.
and be like, oh, I don't know. It could go two ways, right? It'll be like, remember like the Find George? It's like Track George. It's like on dollar bills.
Oh,
what was that called?
I don't.
Was it that?
Yeah.
Like, and you would type in and see where your dollar has been.
Yes. I don't know what it's called though.
Anyway, so maybe the dice are part of that, which
Yeah.
I don't think so. Or he'll be like, yeah, I was short and it's not going to happen again.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right. Like I'm still, working through things and I will be better next time. And
how did he have that much time alone? Maybe he got the job.
Don't you need a key to open that?
That's what I also thought too.
You don't just like get your hand in there. People would be taking shit all the time, I'm sure.
I know. Isn't it a locked
I don't know.
box?
Yeah, something's not right about that. Vic says, if we were Caleb, would we have gone to go see Jamie?
This is such a hard question to answer.
I don't think so. And I also wouldn't expect him to show. I'd be like, he's not going to show anyway. So therefore I'm not going to show. But then again, I'd be curious. Oh, God, I hate awkward confrontation like that. It's like not even, like, what do you, hey.
I'll tell you this because I don't know how to answer that. But I wouldn't do what Hanna did for Caleb.
Yeah, same. I think we both were like, if our partners were like, this just happened to me, we'd be like, when you're ready.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
In due time.
I wouldn't set up a meeting and I wouldn't force. That's just not my personality.
Yeah, same.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
My sister is someone like that.
Right. Like a pusher in a good-hearted person.
Yes, comes from a good place.
But someone who will push you a little bit because they want to see you be happy, but it's also like, what cost?
Right.
Yeah, we're more on like
behind the scenes. I might nag you.
Yeah, behind the scenes, like
constantly.
Hey, did you call them? Maybe you should,
but I wouldn't set up a meeting.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, so more on that next week. Over to Aria. As we remember, Wes is staying at Ezra's. He left the place a pigsty. They said it's been a week, so he's been there a week. And Diane calls Aria. Aria's like, Ezra's mom's calling me. And I said to Michelle, why would she have her number saved in her phone?
I'm so glad
she
you
would
brought
never
that
call
up.
her.
I didn't even think twice about it, but you're so right. Why is that phone number saved?
Like, oh shit, this is Ezra's mom. How do you know that?
How would she have that number?
Right? It's so weird. I don't think she's ever spoken to her on the phone before that we've seen.
Yeah.
It was so unnecessary. But she calls her to see if she knows where Wes is. Aria lies. And then when she gets back to Ezra's, Wes is like, yeah, my mom knows you lied. She just wanted to catch you in a lie because she wanted to use it against you to say, hey, Ezra, look, she's a lying bitch.
Can't trust
those
her.
are my words. Like, she's not trustworthy and, you should end things. So he's like, I got to get out of here. My mom found me. I got to leave. I'm going to go sleep on a friend's couch later and then maybe go to Spain or Halifax.
First, I'm going to try to pack my Cocoa Puffs.
I don't know why we focused I don't know if you noticed this. We focused so much on his suitcase.
Yes, we did.
Like, what are we going to find in there? We find nothing.
I know. And then it spilled over at one point.
Yeah. I'm like, are we going to find drugs, a gun?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Nothing. I want to tell you, the entire Wesley Fitzgerald is useless. There is nothing coming from this storyline. I'm pretty sure
just
next
a kiss.
Right. Well, for what?
It has to make Aria question
her feelings for Ezra.
Yes.
What do you think that means, though?
Nothing. Just that it happened. I can't believe this happened.
She's feeling lonely.
Right.
It's been what?
Right.
Like 2 weeks since Ezra's been gone?
She has a thing for men who can recite poetry.
She has a thing for men that are not her men and need to just leave it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think Lauren, someone did a video and they're like, Aria, the one who cheats on every single boyfriend she's ever had or something like that. I'm like, oh.
Well, it's been Ezra and Noel Khan, right?
Yeah. So it's just
Is Noel Khan a boyfriend?
I don't know. But anyway,
yeah. Okay.
It just wasn't a good look for you, dude, but you did it anyway. So Wes then is at Ezra's, and this is when Cece calls Aria to ask her if she can help her out with a photo shoot for the store. And she says, yeah, can I bring an assistant? So her and Wes go and they start taking photos for Cece. And Cece's like, I'll get dinner. Don't worry about it. I'm so appreciative that you guys are here to help me. And then, of course, when Wes is downstairs, Cece's like, oh, my God, you got big brother and small brother? Like, yes. And Aria's like, no, it's not like that. Ezra's my man. One. She's like, yeah, sure. Sure, girl. I'm reading the signs. Cece's like, I love it.
Oh.
She's like, this is great.
Yeah, Cece loves the drama.
She loves the drama. So Cece ends up going to get dinner, but she's gone so long. But then Wes and Aria start drinking her wine.
Yep.
And then they spill the wine on the carpet. Again, like this could have been like, oh, we spilled this. We find something useful.
Right.
There was no point to this. There was no point to spilling the wine.
You're so right.
It's so frustrating that we had to waste minutes when we could be watching stuff with A. It's so annoying.
Yeah, nothing.
Right?
I guess it wouldn't make sense for Aria and Wesley together to find anything that related to A because Wes has nothing to do with A.
No, totally. But like we could have found like just anything. I don't know. Like, hey, that's not wine, that's blood. I don't know. Something that would have made sense to why we're spilling this wine on the carpet.
Right.
So they have to hide the wine stain with furniture, and then Cece calls and's like, I got held up. I had a few glasses of wine while waiting for our food
at the bar,
and they towed my car. She's calling them from her car.
Yeah, she's sitting in the car.
What is this about? Everyone wants to know. What does Michelle think of this?
Well,
what is the motive?
I think she's the other gloved hand.
You think she's a part of the A team?
Yes, obviously. Or she's seeing Wilden on the side.
She's seeing Wilden on the side.
Yeah.
And so she's just like, I went to go like have the fling with you while they were there. Did like some people like said, do you think out of the goodness of Cece's heart, she just actually wanted to leave them alone?
Yes, I do.
I do see what happened.
Yes, I do think that. I meant
not the goodness, but the drama of her life.
Me saying the Wilden and her being the other hand is nothing to do with the Wesley and Aria stuff.
Gotcha.
I think she was like, oh, if I leave them alone and I'm going to leave them wine,
they're totally going to hook up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You said you might think she's Redcoat.
Yeah, she's involved.
She's
clearly. She was in the picture.
She was right. She was in the picture.
She's involved.
Right, which we're going to get to right at this moment. Except, which I thought was funny, Britt says that Wes and Aria are like a middle school couple when they kissed. It's like, oh. Because he comes back to her house because she's like, please don't sleep in your car. Like, what? Again, for no reason did he have to come into her house and then say, hey, I like poetry. And by golly, the scene of him saying, yo, I like to potty. Oh,
but I might be tardy.
Actor who plays Wes, I apologize for you. That is sickening.
We could have done without it.
It was so bad. It was the
I don't understand. Your teacher made you recite poetry, right?
Yeah.
And so you recite the line. And then he goes into party. Let's rhyme it with tardy. And you're like, please stop. Please.
You could have just left it there. Now you look like a fool.
Right.
Aria is not excited to kiss you.
Right.
But then kisses you. Her. Right. He leans in. They kiss for like a millisecond. And she's like, we can't do this. And he says, no, we can. And he just goes downstairs.
But he's on the island.
But I'm pretty sure he's on the island.
What happens when Ezra and Aria get married? Is he not in the wedding?
Oh.
You know, because I feel like they are getting married.
I know you
They,
do.
knowing them, they probably either elope or they probably have like a small courthouse wedding. No family is there.
Yeah.
They'll tell Ella.
We got married. We're good.
Byron.
When do we see this wedding?
Probably like time jump.
After the time jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're in November and we're in senior year for like
Forever.
forever.
Yeah, basically.
I have a feeling, what was my prediction? Halfway through 4 is when they graduate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the second half of 4 is a time jump. In my mind, I forgot what I
think that's what you said.
with Lauren Daisy, we talked about this. Yeah, so I think not yet, but I picture courthouse, small
So
wedding.
like season 5, 6?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, over to Emily. This stuff is good. The girls discuss Spencer, obviously, and what they could do about her reckless actions and behavior. And Emily says that she tried to reach out to Toby, but he has not responded to her.
Mm-hmm.
They discuss how Spencer doesn't know about Emily seeing Redcoat. And then Hanna goes, yeah, I saw her too. And Aria's like, I'm sorry, when was this? What happened? And so we finally have like this revelation of, yeah, more than one person has seen this Redcoat. So it has to be a part of something.
It's got to be something.
Yeah. Emily sees Cece at the brew, who she asks about Wilden. And Cece's like, I don't know him. I don't know anyone really that summer. It was such a blur. I met so many people. Everyone was trying to get with Allie.
Maybe Cece is lying.
About what? About everything?
Literally 2 seconds ago just predicted that she was banging him on the side. But maybe I don't know why I was about to call her Lily. I think I have Gossip Girl in the mind.
I think
Cece.
so. Oh, true.
Lily.
Yes, Cece and Lily.
Wow. Yeah, maybe she's just completely
She's just some pathological liar and she doesn't know how to keep her.
that, or just in her own world of like, oh yeah, maybe I did meet him at some point, like in Cape May. Or I don't know.
Probably.
I was on a boat. Cool.
Right, like, so maybe that to her that's not a lie because she's like, yeah, maybe I did. She probably doesn't remember taking that picture.
Right.
Or maybe she does.
Or she does.
Right. So we don't know.
I can't read her.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard to read her.
Mm-hmm.
So she mentions this picture of Allie and Cece to Jason. And Jason's like, wait, were they on a boat? I'm like, LOL. Of course, there's a million pictures of people on a boat. But she says, well, I found a picture of Wilden. He was on a boat. And he's like, I think I could find what I'm thinking of at my dad's office. So they head back to the De Laurentiis house to get the key for his dad's office. And when they arrive, there was like 100 whiskey bottles on the front porch. And Emily gets a text from A like, oh, he's going to need them later on.
So rude.
And Emily's like looking around.
And you could see, it made it seem like I was in the brush.
Yeah, they did. Right. The camera
Watching.
angles were like, it was black and you can see like the trees.
Yeah.
And Emily says like, who would do this? And he says, Allie would do something like this. Vic's like, do you believe Allie's alive now? Just from that one moment.
No, I don't. I again, logistically,
I think in my heart of hearts, when I watched this show, I think I thought she was probably alive.
You did.
Yeah, I think that they do a really good job of really making you
Yeah.
like second guess yourself every second.
Absolutely.
Is she alive or not?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the setting up, the purchasing of the whiskey.
Right.
No one around them hurt. Well, I guess if it's a team doing this, or if one, it's just so much work.
So much.
You have to carry all these bottles.
Right.
What's
It would
time
be
for
multiple
this?
people.
What's time for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Someone who wants revenge.
Right.
They head to Mr. De Laurentiis' office. Like, it's not even in the same part of town anymore. And they go through his papers, and of course they find it's like a shadow box of photos that Allie put together for her dad, which is weird.
As an apology.
As an apology for like staying out late or something. And so they find this picture of Allie on a boat, And of course, I said to Michelle, she doesn't cut up the picture of just her. She leaves the full photo so that we can see her and someone who's much older than her, Wilden, and then Cece next to her on the boat. So they're like, oh, okay. So Cece was lying about knowing Wilden, we think.
Right. You're putting together a shadow box for your dad.
I don't think you would show pictures of you drinking on a boat with a fish and an older man. He's a man.
No, you wouldn't.
But in the show, they say he's only a few years older than Cece. So if Cece's 22, that means what? He's 25, 26?
So he's
I don't
Ezra's
buy
age?
it, but okay. Yeah, so I guess he's Ezra's age. A little bit old, maybe a year older than Ezra.
Okay. Anyway.
Sure.
Right.
So they take the photo, they get into the elevator, and of course the elevator stops.
Oh my God. This
Fear
is
unlocked.
So
Yeah.
anxiety
this is, I don't think there's one person in this world that gets into an elevator and doesn't at least think one time, I hope this doesn't stop.
Totally.
Right? Like everyone has that fear.
Right.
Everyone doesn't have someone like lurking in the shadows and trying to kill them all the time. And this time,
No, I think it every time I get into an elevator.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, did I pee?
Right. Right. Did I peed? My fed?
Right. Like, where would I pee?
Here
Like the corner,
I hope I have self-service. Of course they don't.
Yeah.
And then they open the elevator doors and there's like a little tiny crack where you could jump from the elevator down to where the floor is. And Emily's freaking out. And Jason's like, you just got to do it. She's like, have you done this before? He's like, hell no.
I know. How often does one do something
He's
like
like,
this?
girl, hell no.
Right.
And she's like, but who's gonna hold the doors open for you? And he's like, just go. It's like very, very dramatic. And Emily, she gets there, she makes it finally. And then as soon as she jumps down, the elevator doors slam and the elevator plummets to the ground with Jason inside. OMG.
Like
Did you think that was the end of him?
No, I didn't think that was the end of him. I just couldn't believe we were doing this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If this was the end of Jason, I think you would have reacted differently.
I was trying to be like, oh no, my boy.
Well, you did. I mean, this is stressful,
It's
regardless if it's the end of him or not.
Right, no, totally.
I could feel my stomach turning because we've been on Tower of Terror, any free fall ride.
Yeah.
You know the feeling.
You know that feeling. Oh.
I don't particularly like rides like that.
I love Tower of Terror.
No, I love Tower of Terror, but I don't aim
that
for
makes your stomach
the
drop.
free fall drop rides.
Also, to mention, Jason mentions that the night Allie went missing, he saw Cece in a yellow top and he thought she was Allison. So we have this flashback of him like really hungover, trying to get a cup of water. He's drinking from the hose. And Melissa is talking to what we think is Allie because she's wearing the yellow top and the blonde hair. And then he yells Allie and both of them turn around and it's Cece. And he's like, I just like, blacked out after that. And I looked and she wasn't there. And none of them were there. I thought I made it up. Plus, if I told the cops I was awake for any second, I would be guilty of something.
I get this. And to give us a little bit more to the puzzle, but you wake up and you need water. So you go outside to the cup that's on the banister and you spill it. And so then you turn on the hose. I didn't realize we were reaching for water. I thought we just stumbled out because you left your beer out there or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just was out there for another drunken stupor kind of thing, and then was like, I'm really thirsty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Mike asks, now that we know Cece was also wearing the same top as Allie, do you think other people's memories for the night she disappeared were actually Cece and not Allie?
That's a great point.
I mean, that makes everyone's memories unreliable then. That means everything we see in a flashback, we can't trust. We can't trust. Which I feel like could be true for this show. There's a lot of things that like later on you'll be like, wait a minute, this person's, and they're like, no, this didn't happen. You're like, oh shit, but we saw it. It's like, no, you saw that person's perspective of what happened.
That's right. I mean, that's everybody's memory.
Of course.
In general.
Yeah.
My own memory. I'm like, did I remember that right?
I know. I'm like,
or am I just creating that story?
Or did someone tell me it and I thought I like saw it? Yeah, I know.
It's weird how you can create a memory off of a story that someone told you. You're like,
your brain is
that my memory?
So fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that people have mistaken Cece for Allie this night?
I do.
to learn some more about that later on.
I mean, listen, if it was a blonde and brunette, a little different. But we have two blondes wearing the same shirt or same color shirt.
What's up with that?
What's up with
Britt
that?
also says, what do you think Cece and Melissa were talking about?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Probably about Ian.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we get to the hospital. Emily sends an SOS text. Michelle's like, why?
Wouldn't you just say, come to the hospital, right. Jason, this is what happened. There was an accident.
Yes, you would just say that.
SOS.
It's SOS. And so all the girls meet there. Jason, luckily he's okay. It looks like it's like neck could be broken, but maybe not. I guess he would have been more in like
I think he's just in a neck brace.
A neck brace, just in case.
Sprained neck. Oh my
God. Something terrible. And he says to Emily, like, I have a target. The NAT club, they're all dead except for me, and I need to get out of here, basically. And so then she leaves to get him water, and when they come back, he's gone.
Hey, where'd your friend go?
Jason DeLaurentis in bed 8 or whatever?
Weren't they standing near the elevators? Where did he go?
Listeners want to know, did he go willingly or did someone make him go?
Well, now I'm thinking someone made him go.
I mean, he was
sometimes
very
the listeners
injured.
Ask me questions and I don't pick up on them, obviously, until way later. Or someone says something and I'm like, oh, like I don't remember who asked it. Is somebody making Aria sick with the T? And I was like,
that was Mike.
And I was like, no, because someone would have to have the flu.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. I never thought about it like that.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
And so now I would have never thought that. To me, it was Jason he's got an agenda. He's scared and he's got to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about that, I think the listeners, they actually do my job and they're like, let's try and play with Michelle to see what she actually thinks is happening. Yeah. Because we don't want to obviously be telling you what happens.
Right.
So what does Michelle think about this?
Yeah.
It's so great. And then our last scene is the A-team, 2 of them. They're spinning one of their bottles of whiskey that they had left for Jason. And it lands on Aria, but then they change it to land on Spencer. They manually change it. And they're like, no, it's Spencer's turn. And they pour the whiskey and they cheers.
Yeah.
To Spencer.
I do like this.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. And I thought this, whatever this song was a really nice choice for the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kat says, does Michelle have any predictions on how A has enough money for 100+ whiskey bottles to test Jason's sobriety? Does Michelle think we'll ever find out how A funds their schemes, or will it be left unanswered?
Kat, I would love to know.
Again, a great question that Michelle wasn't thinking about.
I wasn't. No. All falls under the logistics of the schemes. Last week was they were in the liquor store.
Yeah, with the ID buying the bottles.
Right. Yes. How do we get the funds? Now, we didn't mention, but Jason, or maybe we did. Jason is convinced.
Mona, yes.
Mona is a link
to who took Allie's body.
Right.
Yeah. Because Emily's like, I don't trust her. He's like, I don't trust her either.
But
so we're glad to know that Jason doesn't actually have a thing for her.
Yeah. And so he feels he's getting warmer with her. Mona has money.
I guess.
Are Mona's parents wealthy?
I don't know. I mean, she gives off the appeal.
Because her and Hanna would go shopping.
Yeah.
And
I think I think this is a really good school, you know? All the really good kids go we have Coke here, you know?
Right.
This is Rosewood, PA.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the show is going to tell us how the schemes are funded. I would just like to have a glimpse on the logistics of it.
I know. And maybe we will.
Just one.
Right.
Or 2.
I think we'll get a little.
Okay,
I think
good.
we'll get a little something.
Okay, good.
All right, so Lucky Leon's Ladle. The scoop of the week is Haagen-Dazs bourbon vanilla bean truffle ice cream.
Whoa.
A creamy vanilla bean ice cream dotted with chocolate truffles and swirled with spicy bourbon. The bourbon is represented in this episode by the bottles of whiskey at Jason's house and at the end of the A scene. Also in uni, my friends and I used to say that whiskey makes you frisky. And in this episode, we have a couple of liars who are getting close to frisky. Both Spencer and Andrew and Aria and Ezra's brother were caught up in the moment, and it might have led to something more. While Emily going to Spencer's interrupted the study session, no one coming over could interrupt me from enjoying a scoop or two of this flavor. I give this episode 2 scoops.
Ooh, nice. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, MVP and shittiest. I feel like I have my clear MVP.
Yeah, I have an MVP.
My shittiest. I'll have to just go by. Fly. All right, so MVP on 3.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, Emily.
She was great. Another great episode.
She really was.
I think also because she's not distracted with her personal stuff, and it's just on
no
Ace stuff.
Paige, which has been nice so
Yeah,
far.
but even Paige is involved with the Ace stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Paige is just taking time for therapy, maybe.
Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, because we really don't. I don't know if we talk about it again, like Paige and Caleb like teaming up again to take down A.
Do we ever actually officially meet Shauna?
Yeah, we
No.
actually, I think we will next week.
Okay.
I watched ahead, so I can't remember if it's next week or the week. I think it might be next week.
Okay.
Yeah, they basically like, go for a lead on the Queen of Hearts, which is just like
Nice.
what the
nice
situation was.
Yeah.
My shittiest,
I mean,
I want to say Mona.
yeah, I'm gonna pick
But
Ren.
also Vic picked Ren.
Just
Spencer.
because I just didn't want to see his face.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to see his.
And him showing up because Mona gave him an intel.
Yeah, there's something not right about that.
Something's not right. No.
You're meaning to tell me that he knows that Mona tried to literally kill her and her friends and tormented her for years, has, something encouraging that she wants to help Spencer. Like, no,
Mm-mm.
Ren, you know very well what Mona's doing. She's manipulating you. Are you that dumb? You're a supposed doctor.
I can't.
That's also a psychiatrist.
No. This is what I'm saying.
I hate him. I hate him.
hate him.
So hate him. What would we rate this out of 10? Cringy.
Well, the Teresa Caputo hair.
The Wes rapping.
The West rapping. Besides that, it was a pretty good episode.
It was. It was. Yeah, I know.
What's your gut feeling?
I mean, last week I gave it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this might be on par with that. Maybe
I agree.
a 4.
Yeah, we could do a 4.
I feel like it would be unfair to give this one less than last week, you know?
I know. A 4 is good.
Okay, we'll keep a 4.
We'll keep a 4.
Yeah. Okay, so next week we have made it to the final 4 episodes. Well, technically it'll be the 5th episode. There's 24 episodes. Alyssa, when she does math, you guys just laugh at her.
Yeah.
So we're on to episode 20 next week. OMG. It's titled Hot Water. Or water. Or however you say water.
Oh my goodness.
We have a lot of people from a lot of places. So
Water.
However you say it.
You know when you say a word a bunch of times and it all
None of it
sounds
sounds
weird.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of it sounds right. My secret is that Wilden is out for revenge. After he heard the girls are spreading rumors about him, it leads him in harm's way.
Jason versus Wilden. Yeah. So that's what I think that's going to be. I think it's Jason versus Wilden. Because Jason did say he left Wilden
a message. He left him a voicemail. Who knows what he said? If I was Jason, I'd be a little smart about it. And
yeah,
not
be like,
say,
I
you
have
slept with my sister.
Right. I have some things I want to talk to you about my sister's case.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come down to the station.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how I would approach that. And yeah, and because this picture is missing, and Wilden could probably, now that the picture's missing, the picture is not up at the station anymore.
Right. He doesn't have the photo.
This picture is gone that they found in Mr. De Laurentiis' office. So Wilden could just be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But say it in the Wilden way of like, I don't know what you're talking about. You have nothing. And then behind Wilden's back, he's going to be holding both.
Yep.
Right. So I think that's what we're going to be focused on. And then I also think Spencer's going to return a little bit to normal next week.
Oh, okay.
Because she already turned a little bit in this episode.
Yeah,
towards the end.
Right. She said to Emily, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Emily's like, me too. Like, this sucks.
Right.
It took her brother getting injured for her to like snap out of it a little bit.
Or maybe Jason's going to be missing.
He could be missing.
But we'll see a meeting with Wilden.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Me too.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week. If you're on YouTube, hey, subscribe, like, comment. We love hearing from you. And we'll be back again next week. Why I can never close an episode.
Why is closing the worst?
Closing and opening are the worst. I know Seth is like, how do you guys do it? I'm like, we are just on every time that you are on the episode. We are never on. Well, I should speak for myself. I can never just like start and end an episode.
No, starting and ending is by far the hardest.
Why?
Hey, what I'm gonna end with is
A life lesson.
I don't have that. I have an ask. It's Liss and I's birthday month.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And so if you haven't already and you're enjoying the show and you listen on Apple Podcasts or you listen on Spotify, please consider rating 5 stars and leaving us a review. It would mean so much
to us.
And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle, for that.
And you got it.
Good night, y'all.